Hello, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Alexandra Rock. I am the Interscholastic Unified Sports Tennis Chair. Today, I'm sharing some best practices for creating doubles teams and rosters when submitting your postseason registration forms. This is to ensure that we have good competition and diverse pairings. Over the past few years, we've noticed a need for more guidance on creating rosters, which are also called a lineup in the resource guide. Some schools have an abundance of student athletes from which to pair students and create a lineup. Others have just the minimum number of players. Because interscholastic unified tennis depends on players being close in ability, both in doubles teams and with their competition, we closely scrutinize pairs submitted to ensure fair matchups. This document is some guidance on how to create a roster or a lineup to avoid common mistakes or creating lineups that make it difficult for good competition at the district or state levels. Just a review of how to completely fill out the postseason registration. Coaches, at the top, please completely fill out each category. If you are submitting more than one roster for your school, please label the team Team 1 or Team 2, or in rare cases, Team 3. Make sure we have your complete head coach name, the county, the complete county name, your phone number, the date you completed, and your email. You'd be surprised how many people actually leave one of these blank. Highlighted in green, you'll see down here, we need the name, green and blue, the name of each athlete. Please complete the name as it appears on your affirmation of eligibility form that you submitted. Make sure you clearly define their role on either side of the Excel file. Notice that I've put all the athletes on one side and all the partners on another. That is not necessary. As long as each partner is only each doubles team is only one athlete or one unified partner, that's fine. Make sure you've completed their rating, their individual rating. The combined score will calculate on its own. There's no need for you to put anything in that combined score box. Over here, however, follow my arrow, you'll notice what it says under match play event. You, the coach, have to do this. This is a drop-down box. Please do not type into this box. So based on their combined score of each doubles pair, you have to select, based on their combined rating, what court size and ball type they are to use. Then any individual skills, competition, student athletes can be filled in below, down here. I circled in red that the rating should be 5. Only student athletes who rate below 6 at their rating sessions should be put into the individual skills competition. This is not a location for an overflow of student athletes with disabilities. This has happened before where we see 6s and 7s down here. You'll recall from the coach's resource training guide that athletes can be paired together in a doubles pairing and play at an exhibition level. So if you have more than one student left over who has a rating of 6 or higher, you may enter them into competition with an exhibition. Note for me somewhere on the postseason registration that that person will be exhibition. You can do that by just typing in one of the blank Excel sheet boxes and let your district representative or your regional sports director know. But we should not see down here in the individual skills competition level any student athlete who could be placed on a pair, a doubles team. Also note, you can have infinite individual skills competition entries. So if you have many student athletes on your team who rated below a 6, you can just add boxes by inserting cells or copying and pasting cells below the individual skills competition. If you have a very large squad, congratulations, and you can submit more than one postseason registration for a roster lineup. But this presentation is to help you understand if you're filling out more than one, how to do that so that each team that you submit, each lineup that you submit is eligible to score. Common difficulty number one is when you have student athletes with greater than 5 points of variance in their individual ratings. So this is just copied and pasted right from the coach's resource guide, that we want pairs to be closely aligned, having the same rating if possible, but no more than 5 points. If they do vary by more than 5 points, which we know happens, it happens all the time, especially with smaller schools or smaller squads. No one may skip a level. So example, Katie is rated to play with a red ball. So she maybe has a 6, 7, 8 point rating. She can only be paired with red or orange ball players, but not a green ball player. If two players of differing roles need to be paired together, differing levels need to be paired together, the pair will play at the combined score of the team. One must pair the lowest rated student with a disability with the lowest rated student without a disability. Then the second lowest rated with a disability with the second lowest rated student without a disability, and so on. That point right there is the one I'm going to focus on. This is, like I said, straight from your coach's resource guide. Here is a table that is a visual guideline of how that should be used, okay? Focusing here on that last point, how to rate from the lowest rated student with a disability, lowest rated student without, and going upward. So here's an example. Say you have a team of 8. Your athletes with disabilities are rated 6, 7, 10, and 15. Your partners without disabilities are rated 11, 15, 18, and 21. One might be tempted to start in the middle, keeping the variance close by pairing 7 with 11, 10 with 15, and 15 with 18. But that leaves your lowest rated player with 6 playing way out of his or her ability level with someone at 21. You start with the lowest. 6 and 11 is 17 combined score. The result is red ball short court and no one skips a level. Team 2 would be 7 with 15. They have the greatest variance, but still not as great as 6 with 21. So their 22 combined score results in an orange ball full court and no one skips a level. Team 3 would be 10 plus 18, which is a 28 combined score, resulting in orange ball full court and no one skips a level. And Team 4 is 15 with 21, 36 combined score, resulting in green ball full court with no one skipping a level. You'd be surprised how many times that happens, where you start in the middle when you're combining someone, or you start with the teams that are visually the closest, and then you end up with your lowest rated student athletes playing with someone very, very high rated. That's to your own disadvantage also at the competition level, as that would make that pair at least ineligible to score. Difficulty number 2, when you have more than one roster that you're creating and you're creating your postseason registration, a lot of coaches will fill one roster completely up through the maximum 5 doubles teams and leave one roster completely ineligible to play. So here's the first slide that I showed you with a completed postseason registration form and a valid team. And then this is sometimes what they submit with their second postseason registration. Notice you have only 2 doubles teams and a couple individual skills competition athletes. However, according to the coach's resource guide, you have to have a minimum of 3 doubles teams, pairs, in order to advance at the district tournament. Your solution, instead of filling out all 5 slots on your first postseason registration, move one of those pairs over and create a team of 4 and a team of 3 doubles pairs. Remember, you can put your individual skills competition athletes anywhere. It's not a bad idea to have them balanced, however, 2 maybe on each squad, because at the district tournament level, you have one scoring opportunity with each individual skills competition athlete. Those students, if they win, if one of your student athletes wins the individual skills competition, they score an entire team point for you. So go ahead and distribute those between two rosters if you can. Not necessary, but it's not a bad idea. But notice here, you have one complete team and another complete team. That's two opportunities. And also, they're not the same size, which would probably mean they're not going to be in the same division, giving both teams an equal opportunity to advance to the state competition, depending on the number of allocations at your district tournament that will advance. Difficulty number 3 are homogenous teams for large schools with multiple rosters. This is a rarer occurrence, but it does happen, where a team has a great number of doubles teams and can submit 2 or 3 rosters. But this creates a conundrum when scheduling the district tournaments. What happens is a large team with green balls, all green ball players, and another large roster with all red ball players. Well, they can't play against each other in a division. However, they do end up in the same division. So what happens is maybe another team that doesn't have such a homogeneous pairing or matchup will have to play multiple times with non-scoring or exhibition matches. Makes it very difficult to schedule good competition. And what we hear from coaches is that they just want their kids to play. They want their kids to be able to play. So, and we know that student athletes want to contribute to the success of their team. They don't want to be playing a whole bunch of non-scoring or exhibition matches. So it's in the best interest of everyone to mix your teams up a little bit, your roster lineups, so that there is a good sprinkling of each kind of ball and court type for each roster. So this is sometimes what it looks like. We'll have an entire team of green ball players and an entire team of red ball players. And in some cases, there are teams that are lucky enough to be able to fill out 3 full rosters, and maybe they'll have an entire team of orange ball. So if you're creating 2 or 3 lineups, start with your top 3 pairs on each lineup. Put 1 on team 1, 1 on team 2, 1 on team 3. Then your next best 3 on each lineup. Then your next best 3 after that. Kind of basically putting 1 on each, skipping. So here's an example. Say you're lucky enough to have 15 doubles teams come out for your squad, and here are their combined ratings. Team 1 should be 35. Team 2, put that rated 32 team down there. Team 3, put the 31. Then start back over again. You'll notice this keeps them very diversely rated. So we have a green ball on each squad, 2 orange ball, about 2, 1 to 2 red balls on each squad. That is a very nice mix of doubles teams, and when it comes to the district and state competition level, that creates a lot of competition opportunities for those teams. Or I do want to note this, depending on the size of your school, there's no rule that says each roster has to be filled to the maximum of 5. It just says that there's a minimum of 3 to make an eligible team. So having 3 teams of 5 or 2 teams of 5 sometimes will create a situation where your lineups are in the same division. So you could create a team of 5, a team of 4, and 2 teams of 3 to avoid having each lineup in the same division. That is definitely allowed. But do try to look and mix and match those doubles teams so that the ratings are different on each squad. So I just want to note that the solutions presented here are suggestions, or better yet, best practices. Obviously, except for this slide in which I go over how to create teams with greater variance. That is, in fact, a rule. But these are best practices for creating rosters that encourage robust competition. All schools face different challenges, and we do understand that. While some coaches may experience none or just one of the challenges presented, some coaches with larger teams may experience all of them. Sometimes putting together a lineup of all green ball full court players is unavoidable. That happens if you have all high-rated players, and we have had that before. Do your best to create diverse and competitive lineups, and good luck at your district tournaments. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself, the assistant chair, Melissa Kelly at Special Olympics Maryland, but of course, always first, your district representative or your regional sports director. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that this presentation has been a help.